Hello, we're running. Hi, here I am again. I wanted to say hello. I'm coming at you from my laptop's camera on my webcam, because as I've told you a couple of times now, this phone it's not really good, and the mic is pretty horrible. So yeah, hello. Um, I'm looking kind of like a bumblebee. I've got this like yellow shirt and I've got black pants on right now. And yeah, today I'm wearing this. Look at this. It's like such a big bun. It's like really voluminous. And I braided my hair last night. It's finally long enough for me to do French braids, and I'm letting it air dry with French braids in, and it looks kind of neat when I take it out in the morning. And yeah, I'm kind of trying to work with what I have and with this like awkward length. So yeah, this is my goal. This thing. Um, it's really warm in my room right now. Like it's really hot. It's full on summertime here where I study, and we've got about 30 degrees each day, like over 30. So it's a lot. Like all of Europe right now is just way too hot. Do you know this meme of a dog sitting in this like burning room, sitting on a chair, looking calmly into the distance and thinking to himself, "This is fine." That's how I feel like. This is fine. This is hell, but I can't do anything about it. So this is fine. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about hair again. Given that I've reached this goal of being able to tie a little knot in my hair on my head, some tips for growing out your pixie cut and some tips for growing out your hair in general. If you remember, a couple of days ago I did a video about coconut oil and all about its benefits. Um, the fact that it moisturizes your hair and you can use it as a mask. You can even use coconut oil as a method of oil pulling, squish it around your mouth, and it helps whiten your teeth. That's another benefit, and use it for cooking and stuff. But yeah, I mainly use it as a hair mask every now and again to help soften my hair and prevent any breakage or damage, because there are mainly two things that you want to look out for while growing out your pixie cut, and obviously I'm currently in the middle. But yeah, the two things you want to look out for are, first of all, try to get your hair to an even length, but second of all, try cutting it often enough for it to not break. I've seen a lot of tutorials online of people saying never cut your hair, just grow out that mullet, like look like a guy from the 80s, look like Billy Ray Cyrus. That's not important, just grow it all out and then cut it. But I'm strictly on the opposite end. Well, mainly I also like going to the hairdresser once and again because I like head massages and like talking to them. I'm really a chatty person whenever I'm at the hairdressers. But yeah, apart from that, I think regular haircuts are really important to prevent split ends, because of course your hair is short, but it can still get heat damage when you blow drying it, or you may be using heat tools like a straightener or curling wand. You're obviously putting too much heat on your hair, and that can break your hair up and cause split ends, although it's short. Longer hair usually rubs on your clothing, on your shoulders, wherever, and it just drops and the ends split off because of that. But if your hair is short, that can still happen, although it's not rubbing on anything physically. It can take damage from heat or the way you sleep on it or whatever. I think even doing styles like this aren't too good over time because maybe of the hair grips or the hair tie, the hair can split. But anyway, it seems pretty healthy. My hair at least seems pretty healthy. But yeah, you want to make sure that you cut it regularly just to get rid of split ends, because if you grow out hair that is split, it just splits up further and further up the shaft, and it causes the hair to just break in the middle and snap off, and it's not going to get any longer when it continuously just breaks off at some point. So you want to keep the ends blunt and keep them healthy to grow it long. And that brings me to the second part. The part that I'm currently struggling with is getting your hair all to one length. Because normally when you get a pixie cut, I mean, look at the shape of your head. Obviously, you've got your hairline starting here in the front, going down your ears, all the way down to your neck. So obviously your neckline, the hair at your neck, is going to be way more down than the rest of your hair, like further down your head. And these pieces can be the same length as these. And if they are, and they all grow out at the same time, they're obviously gonna grow at the same speed. But since this hair is lower down on your head, on your hairline, it will cause it to look longer and look a bit shabby. I'm not gonna shame on anyone, but 80s Billy Ray Cyrus, and soon you're gonna find yourself with a mullet, meaning that the hair down your neck gets really long and disgusting, while the rest is, well, this length maybe. So what you want to try and do is trim your neckline. You can trim it yourself, just use a mirror, stand in front of another mirror and just trim it carefully. You don't want to make any mistakes because the shorter your hair is, the more mistakes you can visibly see. Or you can just go to the hairdresser. A trim of the neckline is usually really cheap. I pay about €7 just to get my neck cut and just tapered. So yeah, that's what I do. Just keep the neck short, and the rest of it you don't want to touch, apart from light trims, as I just said before. You don't want to cut any length majorly, just trim the ends to keep them healthy. And then you're gonna wait, and you're gonna wait. If you're interested, it is currently July, and I've been growing my hair, like really growing it, like being desperate and growing it with determination since January. So you could say I've been growing my hair for about 7 months. Exactly 7 months. And it has gotten to this length. This looks a bit ridiculous since I braided it. So I usually just keep it behind my ears, so don't worry. Then walk around looking like a mad woman. But you can see the sides, they've covered my ear, they're all at around, I would say, earlobe length, and they match with the neckline. Pretty much all one length now, and the top, well, the top is a bit tricky because I do have some layers there, because pixie cuts are usually cut in a lot of layers just to give them more texture and make them stand out more. You can have pixie cuts that are sort of like a short bob and all on one length naturally, or originally, but my pixie cut was really choppy, and I also shaved it at one point 3 years ago. That was a whole nother thing. That was crazy. But yeah, I've been having my hair short for 3 years, and there have been a lot of layers cut in it over time, and recut and reshaped. So yeah, growing all of them out takes a lot of time, a long while, as one wanted to say. Sorry, stumbling over my own words. And the top half of your hair is going to have more layers because that is obviously visible, and that's what's important when you have a pixie cut. You want to have the top of your hair looking neat, because if you don't, you just look stupid and you don't have any shape to your cut. So what I do now is, whenever I can, I just tie the top half back. Also, I just got bangs a couple of days ago. I think you saw that in the coconut hair video, just to distract from the rest. And I'm also growing them out, so they're at about like nose bridge level, so they haven't budged really, about a centimeter maybe, but yeah. So that's what I do to cope with all the weird layers on top and the bangs. I just tie them up, and I can't wait for the day when all of it is finally going to reach into like a bun or ponytail. Oh, I'm so excited when that day comes. But I would reckon, since this is the work of 7 months, I would reckon also you can see a lot of like the red left over. This is my natural hair color, kind of a mousy blonde. There are a bit of like copper tones in it, but not as many as you can see in here. I dyed my hair red so many times because I love ginger hair, but I've been growing it out. But since this is the work of 7 months, I would guess that it's gonna take another seven to grow it longer. So I would say from here on, because I only want to reach my shoulders, really, just, well, I want to have shoulder length hair. That's going to be enough for me for now, at least. To reach that, I would say it's well worth roughly about that much length. And the rule is that your hair grows 1 centimeter per month. So I would say these are at least 6 more months. So I would say overall, going from a short choppy pixie to shoulder length hair is going to take you about a year or a bit longer, depending on how fast your hair actually grows. So yeah, these are my two rules: keep your hair healthy and get it to one length, and then just grow it out and deal with the rest of it. Try to do some hairstyles like this, like try to cope with it. Yeah, and that's all. I just wanted to say hi and yeah, help you out with that little tip. I hope that I did help you out. And if you want to comment any other tips that you have, you can comment them down below. I would enjoy it to answer your questions. Sure, all of it. Leave thumbs up if you want to. And yeah, thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of your day and be happy and keep growing. One day you're going to reach your goal. And remember, if you don't like your long hair, you can always snip it right back up, but growing it back takes a long time. So be patient. Okay, thank you so much for listening, and I'm going to talk to you next time. Goodbye.